Hello there. Welcome to December 2022, Virgo, Sun, Moon, and especially rising sign, always most accurate. You're going to have a month in which OMG, romance, love, and play and pleasure and fun increase, as well as connection to significant others, business and love. If you've been in a relationship, it heals and glows up. And if you're looking for love, looking pretty good. Let's talk about that this month ahead. First of all, you can always check for your rising sign. It will be most accurate, but sun and moon will be the best second way to look at this kind of sky. And I am, if you're new to my channel, Lori Lothian. I am a Western tropical zodiac astrologer using Hellenistic and whole sign houses, going back to the old school stuff. I'm a traditional astrologer. I like to use the sky predictively to help us navigate our lives. Let's navigate your month of December. And if you're new, please hit my like button, subscribe, and that notification bell. That helps too, because when I put content out live every 25 times a month or something, you get notified because you can come into the live chat with me and win prizes, connect with me, and be a part of my community. Let's get storing into your sky, Virgos. Now, I need to take a deep breath because I've been doing these videos all day, and my Patreon community gets it first. I'm recording November 14th. I'm not sure when you're going to get it, but if you want to get early access, you might just sign up for $5 a month, ad-free content, everything on YouTube, but without the ads and early. All right, moving on. So first of all, December every year is got a similar vibe for you because you get the Capricorn pileup in the fifth house. That's because Pluto's already there. And lately, Cupido, a trans-Neptunian, and Hygeia just entered there. But then the normal crew, Sun, Moon, Mercury, Venus, all pile up in the winter, right? Christmas time into Capricorn. It's Capricorn season. And all this weight falls into your fifth house. And your fifth house is the house of romantic love. Did I say my name? I'm Lori Lothian, the house of romantic love, and also children and pregnancy. And certainly with Venus here every year, one of your most fertile times a year, if you want to have a baby, is around this time of year. She's in Capricorn this year, December 10th to January 3rd. Want a child? You can get pregnant. Don't want a child? Be careful. I know somebody who's a Virgo rising who got unexpectedly pregnant during a Venus in Capricorn transit. Now, this is a transit that can bring more sober pleasure to your life, more serious joy. I mean, it's Venus in Capricorn. You're really good at finding refinement in your pleasure during the Christmas season. But there's a special thing happening this year, and that is that Jupiter will also be in your seventh house. He got there October 30th, leaves December 20th, but since November 23rd has been moving forward and the last 2 degrees of your seventh house of marriage. If you are single and you meet somebody when Venus is in the house of her joy, okay, where you can make babies, but also start new romance. If you meet somebody between December 10th and December 20th, the signature that's baked into the sky is very auspicious for an enduring and positive and lasting relationship. But if you're already with somebody and you're in a significant relationship, it gives it a sweet touch, a glow up, a kind of like a alternate reality vibe of really finding pleasure and joy in the relationship with each other. Now, Jupiter will be in your seventh house of marriage and other significant relationships until the 20th. And I want to make a point about this. If you are a Virgo sun, moon, and rising with your sun, moon, or especially your sun at your rising degree, anywhere in like the 25 to 29 degrees of your sign, Jupiter is blessed endings as well as expansive beginnings. If you're in a difficult or troubled marriage type relationship or significant partnership, there could be some endings here. Okay. But for the most part, Jupiter tries to make it work. I saw a good meme about this. Jupiter wants to expand everything it touches, but if it can't expand it, it gets rid of it, to make room for expansion. So if that marriage partnership isn't getting where, it needs you to go, he'll get rid of it. Marriage-like partnership. Okay. But I like the Venus piece here in your, general principle. Venus will move into Capricorn on December 10th, just after Mercury does so on December 6th. And having them both here can be very good for leisure travel, pleasure travel, and romantic travel being concocted by you in December or taken by you, maybe with the one you love. Now, the other thing with Jupiter here, legal matters and affairs. If you have any legal things you need to get all ironed out, contracts, agreements, legal documents, and stuff like that, especially if you have to involve courts and stuff like that as well, because Venus is ruling and trining your ninth house of courts while she's in their fifth. This Jupiter transit's extremely good for successful financial outcomes involving legal matters. So just get ready to like win the day in something that if you need to win legally or sign really positive and powerful yay contracts, this can work in your behalf until December 20th. Then no longer so. Then Jupiter will go into your house of chunky money where he'll be till May. And that's going to be a whole other video for you guys when Jupiter re-enters Pisces to go through Aries to go through the entirety of Aries. Watch for your wealth to go significantly up, including inheritances during that transit. I think that I've got you know what I mean? Like I should have wiped I think I got a fingerprint smudge on my camera, and only for Virgos who are OCD am I going to clean it. Hang on. This is driving me nuts. I can see it, but I'm sure it makes me blurry. Anyway, no, it probably just made it worse. All right, moving forward. Let's go through the sky step by step. We got a couple good moons to talk about as well, a new and a full moon, as we do every month. I'm going to break it down a little bit more now in terms of some of the micro stories, just as I get ready to do that. A couple of thoughts I have. I think a lot of you with that retrograde Mars in your 10th house since October 30th are really assessing your career or life purpose and what you really want to do. And you're going back over old ground and saying, is this really what I want? In fact, I have a Virgo rising friend who just said the other day she's kind of toast with her work and wants to let it go completely. So I see that with a lot of my Virgo friends right now. And so keep in mind that I know that you're kind of fed up with a lot of you are really struggling with what you really want to do, what direction you want to go, and what you want to focus on in your purpose work environment. And I'm bringing this up because the context of that Mars retrograde in your 10th house is important because there's a new moon in the same place on December the 7th. A full moon, obviously. And, it's conjunct Mars exactly. And it's taking cue from the first 2 weeks of June 2022, when there was a new moon unfolding from a May 30th new moon in Gemini. So what new seeds were you thinking you were planting in career purpose, reputation? And now you're backtracking and trying to figure out if that's the right thing to do. And Mars will be in your 10th house until the third week of March. So you're really going through a lot. But when he moves direct on January 12th, you're going to have new momentum and focus, and you're going to apply exciting new directionality to your career. You'll have figured it all out by then. But this new moon is a part of that process. So the new moon happening on December 7th with that conjunction to Mars himself, full moon is fullness and fruiting and full fruiting of whatever it is you're supposed to be doing in your freaking life, your career. And you're going to see some fullness or completions, because full moons can bring endings and completions as well as harvest and fruiting. Now, that full moon is in a square to Juno, the goddess of agreements and contracts, in the 7th house of legal matters, also marriage partnerships. Some of you, Virgo rising, sun and moon, may be going through a very difficult time. You got a long Mars square to the descendant with a significant relationship feeling quite gnarly. And there may be a squaring energy here from the new moon, full moon on December 7th, add 2 weeks, where you're in a make or break in a significant business or love partnership. Basically, that's it. And those are going to be very critical times for you regarding those themes. Now, moving into the next part of the story, in the first 5 days of December, just before that moon, Venus will be in an opposition to Mars. And that's a very powerful, passionate, intense, energy. And it can be either romantic or just being in a complete state of exhilarated intensity regarding something that you're passionate about. And in this case, it's, however, Venus in the 4th house of the home with Mars opposite in the 10th house of the career. So there could be some friction with a woman in your home, or something with pleasure and enjoyment in your home, as Venus and Sag in your 4th house will oppose Mars. And this energy happens on a regular basis. But this one is very kind of special because it involves a sextile from Venus to Saturn when the Mars is trining Saturn. And the gist is that normally what is tempestuous, intense, and passionate energy, they can be sometimes difficult to sustain, has a real anchor to ground into something enduring and legacy and long lasting with Saturn. So, for example, you could meet, if you're single, Virgo, somebody that you could fall in love with near your home, right? And there's passion, and maybe there are some connections to your work environment or your career. And then there's this intensity where Saturn is trying to glue it together and make it last from the workhouse. So, a couple of thoughts. For some of you, this is a tryst in the work environment, obviously. And it could be that it seems like a risky endeavor, but then you realize, oh, Saturn says this can go the distance. For some of you, this could be something to do with love in the home blossoming in such a way that it provides better outcomes for your career, and that you just realize that by, having this love story, your life is better. If you're in a relationship already, I already told you there's a lot of tension. Mars is squaring the descendant. This is not an easy time for some of you in your marriage partnerships. And so Mars can look like a fling or attraction or a flirtation with somebody in the workspace, Mars in the 10th house. So with Venus in the 4th house opposite Mars, she's also at the same time, right, kind of saying, what is your deepest childhood experience of love and joy and pleasure? And how does that influence you in this current situation regarding what could be a fling, honestly? But then Saturn says, but a fling could go the distance. So is it when is a fling and when is it something important? It's quite the mashup there. Now, so all you Virgos are going, what is she talking about? Well, if none of this makes any sense, and I'm just going to say this, it's really good for work. And it's really good for promotions and raises and advancements that allow you to have more pleasure at home, or even secure a more beautiful and financially successful home. There you go. Could look a little bit like a real estate deal for some of you Virgos. Then we also have December 8th and 9th, the sun opposite Mars. That's conflict with somebody in a position of authority. Watch out for that. Technically, it just means like a power struggle day. And the sun is in your 4th house and Mars is in your 10th. So it could be conflict with somebody in the workplace or somebody in your home space, but there's tension in the sky. It's not a big deal. It's fleeting. It doesn't last very long, but just watch out for that. And then Venus will square Jupiter around the same time. That's Venus squaring Jupiter in the marriage house from the 4th house of your home. Eek! Sounds like there's a lot of conflict either with business and marriage partners and bosses and home life. It looks like a bit of a shamazel for you guys as Virgos on that time frame of December 8th and 9th. Then you clear out of that, and December 12th and 15th, the sun is sextiling Saturn while also squaring Neptune. Sun sextile Saturn allows you to have hard work and focus and really get something done that you think is meaningful and very purposeful. And in your case, you may be doing it about homeland, property, real estate, leases, rents, tenancy, and pets. And then squaring Neptune, where is this not being fully fleshed out? Where could you have some confusion about how this may be at odds with your love partner or business partner, your marriage partner, or how there may be some confusion or deception going on regarding what I just talked about and your partner? I'll make up an example. You decide you're going to move out of your relationship with your partner. So you start to look for a lease somewhere else. You find it and you don't tell them and you're hiding it from them. This is like I'm making a story up, but it's kind of like the sun is in a square to Neptune in the house of significant other. Well, it's busy forming like new agreements around work and lease, tenancy and pets and debt, paying off debts as well. 17th and 18th of December, there's a really cool thing happening. That is that Mercury will trine Uranus, which is exciting news and sudden developments that are very jolting, but positive and good for finances and resources. Because it's all in Earth, it's earthy trine. And Capricorn, Mercury trining earthy, Taurus, Uranus. And then December 21 and 2, it's back again. And that's because Venus is following up in a trine to Uranus as well. Now coming through with the goodness, the gifts, and the money that you might need, or the resources that you might need. Okay, so that makes kind of like December the, 16th to the 23rd, very interesting, exciting, and exhilarating financially. Because this is a Venus participating in a house of her joy, in a house of money, luck, then this could be a very auspicious bit of windfall energy coming at you. I would say that the Taurus part of it, the 9th house, it could come from a father or father figure, from courts or legal matters, bestowing grace upon you in your favor. Certainly, it would be a sudden surprise trip, romantic leisure getaway to a foreign land, being served up on a dish of joy and pleasure. That could be another example that's happening. This could even be your significant other, especially because Jupiter has just been in the seventh house. And it could be that they say, I got tickets to Hawaii. We're off to next week. Are you with me on this? And you're going, yes, I'm going with you. December the 24th to the 26th, Mercury is sextiling Neptune, dreamy, psychic, intuitive, flowing, insightful energies, very clairvoyant, in fact. But Mercury is sextiling Neptune from your fifth house of pleasure, play, joy, romance. And he will do that again on the 31st of December and again on February 5th. So because of retrogradation, in fact, Mercury is in your fifth house of play, pleasure, fun, romance, children, and all of that, and independent business enterprise all the way through until February, right? So it's a long 2-month transit. Certainly means you're doing a lot of marketing, merchandising, selling, communicating, thinking, working mentally regarding. A lot of people who have their own business will have fifth house activations here. But I do think that Neptune sextile Mercury starting on December 24th and 25th, that could be very dreamy and really powerful connections with somebody that you're in a primary relationship with, where Vulcan mind meld, really connecting, really having a sweet connection. It's also really good for creativity. If your art or creative projects need to reach an audience, you could write your best-selling song, your best-selling book. You could get into a very deep creative inspiration with this Mercury, but coming from a deep, deep place, okay, of intuition, almost channeling, almost, because Venus is supporting that as well as she's traveling through Capricorn until January 3rd. The creative part. Mercury will come. Oh, and then we're talking about the moon. There's a Capricorn new moon at 1 degree every year. Of course, there's a new moon in Capricorn. And this one is going to happen in a conjunction to the goddess of healing, mind, body, spirit, almost all of the layers, Hygeia, also hygiene. A new beginning, a new moon in the hygiene area of your fifth house. It's good for medical procedures that have to do with your children, to have to do with sexuality. It's also really good for a new beginning and after the 2 weeks that follow in a romantic relationship or renewing your sexuality. I'm hearing that song, Sexual Healing, doo-doo. Could be a sexual healing going on here in the 2 weeks that follow that new moon, or a creative and a muse inspiration and a very healing vibe for you there as well. Also, your children or any of your children could have some healing over the 2 weeks that follow this new moon. This new moon's planting seeds for a full moon that'll happen in the summer in the Cancer season. No, in the Gemini season. So get ready for that as well. No, my brain's offline. Yeah, the Cancer season. Sorry, guys, I've been doing so many videos today. So sometime in the summertime, in June, July, there will be a full moon that's going to take a cue from this new beginning in your fifth house. Now, new moons can bring pregnancy, and Venus is here and she can bring pregnancy. So again, if you are not wanting to be pregnant and that's not a part of your plans, be more careful. If you don't want to be pregnant, you got a frigging electric shock and awe trine from Mercury in the ninth house. And so I wouldn't say that pregnancy is outside of the box here. So be cautious. Mercury is conjuncting Venus on December 28th, 29th. This is a fusion of the two of them. Good for love and money, good for real good love communication, romantic speech, talking to each other, getting down, flow and ease and harmony with your money luck factors. Lots of Uranus energies trining your fifth house. So for the window of December 28th, 29th, it's not a bad idea to buy a lottery ticket and speculate a little bit or do some risky speculation, but don't go overboard. And then Venus will also be sextiling Neptune. This is like dreamy, creative, flowing, harmonious, spiritual, romantic, high love energy. This is definitely, if you're with somebody and you're already in a relationship, you're going to find like December 29th to the December 31st, glorious and renewing in the relationship. And then December 31st, Venus conjuncts Pluto. Now, this could be obsessive love, deep love, a wealth bolt. Good for money, though, good for money luck and a bolt of money for you December 31st. But when it comes to romance and sexuality, this could take you into a secret love affair, an obsessive love affair, passionate love affair, a deep love affair. There's a lot going on in the house of love affairs. All righty. I think I covered it all. Thanks for listening. If you want to subscribe to my channel and hit that like button, I'd appreciate it so, so much. And don't forget to check out my Divine Timing Masterclass for advanced beginner intermediate astrologers next February. If you want to get into that class, please sign up for the wait list. All the information is below on the course. And when you click that link, it takes you to a description of the course. And then you can hit another button to get on the wait list. And you want to be on the wait list because you don't only get early bird pricing, but you also don't get left out because it usually fills off my wait list, not on any public promotion or anything larger. Thanks for listening, guys. And I'm so happy you guys are here. And we'll see you in the 2023 All Signs videos that are coming out soon. OMG, it's going to be intense. We got a lot of really interesting planetary changes next year. And you really want to hear about those because they're going to rock your world.